This is Kitty. Kitty is crying because you didn't leave a like on the video. If you want Kitty to stop crying and be happy, like the video in the next 5 seconds. Meow meow. Kitty is happy now.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for another true animation story. A teenage girl trapped in a woman's body. But before we do that, you guys gotta give a like on this video. So smash that like button. And if you are new to this channel, then do hit that subscribe button. But ring the notification bell on, because that will let you know all new videos. And you'll be updated on all these stories. And we'll get straight into this video. Okay, so let's get this thing done. Alright, we need earphones. So let's put on the magic earphones. Earphones on. And let's get ready. Alright. Let's do this, guys.
Hello everyone. My name is Clara, and I'm a teenage girl trapped in a woman's body.
Okay. Say what? I don't know how that's possible, but do tell, Clara.
My childhood was pretty damn good. My teenage years, however, were really different. My emotions were all over the place. I felt like I wasn't experiencing life fully. I ran away from home like 10 times, and my parents never searched for me. They knew I'd come back as soon as I got it out of my system, and I always did. Except for this one time. This one experience was really special. And as I remember, it all started like this. The last piece of information that I remember was that it was 2007. I was 19. And then, just bits and pieces of me in an ambulance, hearing sirens fill the streets. Some familiar faces around me, crying, hospital bed, beeping sounds, and losing consciousness. But when I woke up, I was greeted with one shocking truth after another. I opened my eyes to see a strange older man and 3 kids beside my bed.
Yeah, that could just be weird, waking up in a hospital and there's a strange gentleman and 3 kids looking at you. But carry on.
The man was handsome, already had some silver in his hair, and looked tired, like he hadn't slept in weeks. The kids looked overjoyed to see me. I tried jogging my memory for any cousins that I might have forgotten, but I couldn't. Right that second, the man took my hand and said, "It's all right, Clara. You're safe." He seemed calm, so I assumed he was a doctor or a male nurse. After about half an hour, I saw my parents coming in, or some people that resembled my parents. My father had gone bald, and my mother, well, she had lost a bunch of weight, and she had a full head of gray hair. What happened? I saw this man, Doug.
Do you know this just sounds like that movie 50 First Dates with Adam Sandler? It's got a ring to that. It's sort of like that movie. Okay, let's just carry on.
And my parents talking to the doctor. They were whispering. Finally, the doctor came up to me and said, "Your vitals seem normal. You can go back home with your family," and left the room. My parents packed their things. My mom said, "Call whenever you need us." I was shocked, puzzled, confused. The doctor said I was going home. So why were my parents leaving without me? I asked my mom, and her answer was the most shocking thing I've ever heard in my life. "You're going home with your husband and kids, silly." She nodded her head towards Douglas. She must be kidding, I thought. Husband? Kids? I started crying like a kid, begging her to take me with them. Douglas took the kids outside so they wouldn't see me. The doctor came and started asking me questions. "What's the last thing you remember, Clara?" My head hurt while I was trying to jog my memory. I think I remember running away from home and going on a trip with my friend Stacy. I started telling this story, and my mom's face immediately went pale. She turned to my dad. She looked like she had seen a ghost. The doctor remained calm. He asked me another question. How old are you, Clara? It sounded like a ridiculous question.
No, it's not. How old are you, Clara? Come on.
But I answered, 19. Then, even the doctor looked worried. I looked at Mom, then at Dad, then at the doctor. The whole room went silent for a couple of minutes. The truth was a lot different from what I'd imagined. My mom sat down near me and held my hand. You're
What?
31, Clara.
Say what?
How? When? Why? When did this happen?
I don't know.
She said. That night, I remembered, was 12 years ago. Since then, I had created a family. I had a husband and 3 kids. I had a wonderful career and new friends. But this one evening, they said, I felt a horrible pain in the back of my neck. Blood vessels had burst into my brain, and after a couple of hours, I fell into a coma. I woke up after 10 days, but now it looked like my brain was damaged in the process, and I forgot everything that happened in the last 12 years. In my mind,
Wow.
I was still a teenager. I still felt careless and rebellious. I was planning to go to college and travel the world. I couldn't believe it. I excused myself and went to the bathroom. I prepared myself to look in the mirror. I breathed calmly and opened my eyes to see this strange woman that I had become. I screamed. It's not that I was hideous or that old. It just felt strange. The reflection didn't feel like mine. I went out and vowed to never look in the mirror again. My husband, Douglas, took me to our home. I was looking around. There were family pictures, our dog Chubby, who looked unfamiliar to me, our bed, our kids. It felt right, but I couldn't remember any of it. When we went to bed, I had a hard time falling asleep. I mean, in my mind, I was sleeping with a strange old man. He kept trying to hug me, and I kept pushing his hand
He's your husband. Aww. Come on, you can't be that mean. He's your husband.
away. The next morning, I woke up to children watching over me. They said goodbye and went to school. My husband packed a bunch of snacks and told me that we were going on a trip. We drove about 3 hours before he finally stopped near a park. He prepared a picnic there and told me...
Wait, is that Scooby-Doo?
Oi, Scooby, what you doing there?
This is where I first met you. You'd sit by that tree and study your exams, and I'd sit by the next tree, watching you, until I worked up the courage to ask you out. This is where I proposed to you, so we could sit here together, watching other young couples fall in love. I didn't remember the proposal. I couldn't. So, I did what a teenage me would have done. I took the car and drove away, leaving him alone at the park. Instinctively, I drove to this old neighborhood where I'd hang out with my friends. There was this cool alley with a bunch of graffiti that we would sit in and drink beer. I sat there alone, feeling lost. I was 19. I couldn't have kids. My life was a mess, and I didn't even know myself. I was crying my eyes out when I heard a gunshot somewhere nearby. I dropped to the ground and heard footsteps coming towards the alley. My heart was beating like a drum. That's when I saw Douglas's face illuminated by the sunlight. I didn't remember our lives together, but at that moment, I remember this feeling of relief. Even if I didn't remember Douglas, he felt like home. How did you find me? I asked. He smiled, like he wasn't even angry, and said, "You've told me about this place before. You've even showed me this alley. There is nothing I don't know about you, Clara." He then explained that this neighborhood had gone really bad over the past 10 years, and we should go back home. I agreed. It would be great if that's where the story ended, but it did.
What? No. No.
I hate it here! I want to go home! Didn't. Over the next year, I had horrible fallouts that nearly ended my marriage. A couple of times, I snuck out in the middle of the night to go clubbing with some teenagers and came back home in the morning, wasted. I went on a shopping spree and pretty much spent most of our savings. At one of the concerts that I went to, I met this up-and-coming rock star that took an interest in me. He was young and handsome, and he made me feel young too. It felt right for a moment. So I jumped on his tour bus and went to 2 different cities with him. I guess the memory loss took away my emotional maturity too. But after about a week, I saw him flirting with a bunch of girls and putting every possible poison in his body. It was nighttime. I was sitting on the tour bus with 10 young guys and a couple of teenage girls, all wasted, trash everywhere. That's when I realized that I hadn't really missed out on anything. Instead of dating dozens of immature guys that would break my heart, I had a wonderful, caring husband. Instead of wandering around not knowing what to do in my life, I already had a job and 3 kids. But I was so scared to go back. That first night, I'll remember forever. I woke up at night and I heard Douglas crying in the bathroom. I went there to console him, and he just mumbled, "I'm not sure I can do it, Clara. I can't raise 4 people, including you. I need a partner, not a kid." This hit me hard.
Ouch.
Ouch!
Clara, you need to... Oh, I got no words for that.
I think at that moment, I understood that it was time to grow up. This year, my birthday was really special. He brought me a little mirror into our bed and said, "Please, look at the woman I adore and see what I see." And I did, finally. I looked at myself and saw a happy woman. I still don't remember all of those 12 years of my life. I'm still a little bit scared and unsure. But this time, I won't run away from fear and the unknown. I'll run towards it.
Oh, that was a very interesting story. So what you guys thought about this one? Let me know. Same thing, drop those comments in the comment section down below. And let me know exactly what your thought was. If you guys liked it, okay, smash that like button. Okay, click on the like button. And if you are new and you're watching this video for the first time, hit that subscribe button. Because also 70% of you guys who watch these stories are not subscribed. That's just mind boggling. It blows my mind. So click on that subscribe button. Ring the notification button. Because we got some cool stuff coming on this channel. So that's what I'm going to say to you guys tonight. Hope you have an awesome one. I'll see you next week. Same time, same place. For another true animation story. Be safe. Stay at home. And look after your family. Cheers guys.